Producer Joe here from the Working Fans Podcast. And at the Working Fans Podcast, this is just a podcast that three lifelong fans created to have a place to talk comedy and pro wrestling. Now, our comedy podcast releases every Tuesday, while our wrestling podcast releases every Thursday. We release bonus episodes under the moniker Working Fans Presents every now and then. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Breaker, any major podcast provider. The important thing is just please like, rate, review, subscribe wherever you listen to us. Now, we have started a new thing. We are now on Amazon and Audible. So those episodes release every Monday. And that's kind of going through the archives and just releasing our old episodes in a new area. So if you want to live through the process with us again, take that journey with us again, you can find us over on Amazon and Audible. Now, if you can't get enough of us in the audio form, check out our YouTube. It's youtube.com/C/Working Fans Wrestling Pod, or just search Working Fans Podcast on YouTube. We have the whole archive is up there. And if you listen to the Working Fans Podcast, you are more than familiar with the 531. That is our signature segment where we take your top 5 lists on a particular subject, vote it down to a top 3, and then debate it down to a top 1. Now, guys, if you want to hear 3 guys talk shit about comedy, wrestling, life, anything, you will enjoy the Working Fans Podcast. Fans, welcome back for Working Fans Saturday, episode 49. Today, the man they call Dave and I, we will be talking favorite Kurt Angle matches as well as our top 5 of the week. Dave, how's it going, man? I haven't talked to you since last week. How's the week, man?
That's so funny, man. You know, we've been fucking at it all day, all night long. We're doing constant, nonstop business. I'm just promoting this fucking shit right before we got on here.
Actually, let me take a minute to talk about promoting next week. Episode 50 of Working Fans Saturday. We will be doing a 5-3-1 on Undertaker matches. Ooh. Episode 51, the week after that, November 13th, we're going to be doing a 5-3-1 on super heavyweights. Episode 52, November 20th, 5-3-1 on Starcades, because we're getting into that Thanksgiving Crockett Promotions feel. And then episode 53 coming out on November 27th, we will be doing a 5-3-1 on Survivor Series.
There you go, man. So my favorite stuff growing up as a kid. Starcade, Survivor Series. It's all good shit.
And then, Dave, who'd you do an interview with that we got coming out on November 4th?
Ah, shit. You know who we got. Listen, guys, one of the biggest guests we've ever had here at the Working Fans Podcast. This man is, 10-time World Tag Team Champion with his brother, WWE Hall of Famer. We're talking about the legendary one half of Harlem Heat, Stevie Ray. Is going to be here, baby. We're going to be trying to get them stripes. Me and Big Stevie.
Big Stevie, loving it. Now, we're going to do 2 sections to the show today. We're going to start off with a short Kurt Angle discussion, just talking about our favorite Kurt Angle moments. And then we're going to play a quick commercial for all of the live shows we do at the Buzz. And then we're going to get into our top 5 of the week. Now, Dave, when Kurt Angle comes to mind, what are the top moments that you think of?
Okay. I got a list right here, actually. And actually, you know, before I get onto my list, Randy Osgood, friend of the show, you know he swiped right in here. He got his Kurt Angle moments on here. He's got the Milk Truckle-mania on Raw, making John Cena on his debut, the confrontation He actually has the conformation, I think. That's a misprint. But the confrontation with Samoa Joe and TNA. His street fight with Shane McMahon at King of the Ring 2001. His match with Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania 19 where Brock almost broke his neck. So that's all good shit. Let's see what else we got here.
Now, I'll review my list real quick because I got Michaels versus Angle, WrestleMania 21. Michaels Angle versus Shane McMahon at King of the Ring 01. Those suplexes through the glass. I really liked Rousey and Angle versus Triple H and Stephanie from WrestleMania 34.
That's a good one.
I found an Angle versus Benoit match from a SmackDown ahead of the Triple Threat at Mania 3/23/2000. That was a wild triple threat match. Oh shit, Dirty Heels in the building.
Kobe Weedson, baby, let's go. Our top 5 favorite Kurt Angle moments.
Yeah, what you got? Get at us in the comment. And actually, just like Kofi Weedston, we recently appeared on the Coming Down the Aisle podcast. That'll be coming out this coming Wednesday. And to round out my list, I just got the Angle versus Joe feud overall.
Yeah, that's good shit. I'm a little jealous because I forgot to put Kurt HBK on there, and those matches are fire. They should definitely be on anybody's list. I got Kurt winning the title after 9/11. I just heard it on the Jim Ross podcast recently, and Jim Ross's call is phenomenal on this. Like, Kurt beats Austin, and you just hear Jim Ross, like, because Kurt's father just passed away, and he's doing it for his dad, and it's just like, oh my God, Jim is just at his best at this. The milk truck, how do you not have the milk truck? I think that's one of the best things Kurt ever did. Samoa Joe, like you, Joe, I got that whole feud. The arrival with Samoa Joe and Impact, it was epic. Three, me and AJ watched this at an apartment we were living in at the time, and it had us both on the edge of our seat. Literally, we were screaming at different times. This match was so back and forth. And I also got Shane McMahon at King of the Ring. Let's see what we got here. My number 1 moment is where him and Austin feud for Vince McMahon. He wore that little hat. That little hat was fucking priceless. You know, that little like yippee-ki-yay, Kurt. Oh, so good.
Nice.
Let's go.
In the house.
Come on, man. Let's get these people in these comments, guys. Contribute with your Kurt Angle matches. We'll get you on. You put them.
We'd ask Randy what his list is, but I already
read it.
Now, any other Kurt Angle thoughts? I mean, won a gold medal with a broken neck.
Yeah. So anybody out there want to get some Kurt Angle matches?
AJ getting Randy in the comments. What up, Randy?
AJ, you should maybe give us a Kurt Angle list if you got one, buddy, while you're over there doing your thing. At the what gym does AJ work at right now?
Planet Fitness?
Yeah, Planet Fitness, Power Fitness.
Renegade?
Yeah, Renegade. Yeah, the Renegade. Man, as far as Kurt Angle goes, this guy was the ultimate wrestling machine. He could go, whether it was against Brock Lesnar, Chris Benoit, Steve Austin, Shawn Michaels, Samoa Joe. He tore it up. But the other thing about Kurt, like Kofi Weedston pointed out, was, he could do things too where he wears that little hat, and he just had these hilarious skits. Kurt was not afraid to show some ass and make an ass out of himself too. And that's something that made Kurt great.
Anytime Fitness. We didn't guess any of the right ones.
Yeah, we did not. You didn't give us a Kurt Angle moment stuff, but when Angle was in that faction team. Oh yeah. Wasn't there the Main Event Mafia too? I want to say. I don't know. With Booker T, Kevin. Booker T had that accent where he was like sounding like that crab from Little Mermaid, where he like respect. He used to love that shit. Booker was great, by the way. Booker, we faced John Cena, right? Booker had that thing. We're going to talk about Booker T for 1 second here because I got to get this out. Booker T, when he was King of the Ring, absolutely one of my favorite things that he would do was Booker would talk in that accent. We're going to have to do a Booker T one coming up, where he would talk in that accent, and he would say things like he was talking to Jerry Lawler, and he'd be like, Jerome, you will not upset me today, Jerome. And then next thing you know, like Laura would say something and Booker would lose it and go back into his other accent. You're like, tell me you didn't say that, sucker. Oh, you almost had me there, Jerome. Tremendous stuff. Main Event Mafia was very underrated, but that was some good shit, man. Thank you. So, yeah, I think maybe we should get to our top 5 of the week, brother.
All right, let me play a quick commercial for the other live shows here on The Buzz, and then we'll get into our top 5 of the week.
You missed the competition. Bring on the competition. We need some competition. Y'all ain't no competition. It's time to ball. Yeah, shout it, time to brawl. Cause see, we about to stomp y'all from the jump ball. Me worried not at all. Your team is gonna fall. Hope you learn something from it. Cause we schooling all of y'all. Putting you to shame. Don't hate you even came. Bringing the pain to anybody coming through the lane. Simple and plain. We gon' play it like we playing dames. Ain't got a chance even if we give away the game. So hope you brought your best. Go put your skills to the test. An early off season about to lay your team to rest. Chalk is another loss. That's what it's gonna cost. Go with your instincts if you're having second thoughts. Your buck, this is where it stops, player. From the point to the center, whole team got hops, player. We be the kings of this division, here to knock you out the box, player. Just wait until I get the rock, player. We tired of playing losers. Oh, y'all think y'all some winners? No matter who we up against.
Now, guys, we are talking our top 5 of the week. And Dave, why don't you give us your top 5 real quick?
I definitely will do that. For me, AEW in Boston this week. It's a personal note. I got to be there live. The show was great. That Halloween match was a ton of fun. Rampage with Kingston versus Danielson was just a fantastic match. Just great stuff. Really enjoyed AEW in Boston. So that was a personal one. Minoru Suzuki on Impact. That opening for Impact this week, if you haven't seen it too, where Moose comes out and Moose says, you know, I'm the greatest world champion in wrestling right now. I don't care how elite you are. I don't care if you're a boss, if you're the queen, you're the man. I don't care what chief, you know, you're the chief of what tribe. He's like, I'm the greatest wrestler right now in this business. And then Josh Alexander comes down and they're brawling and Moose gets out. And then suddenly Minoru Suzuki's music hits and people lose it. And it's Josh and Minoru fighting. And what a show Impact was this week. They had the Iconics on there, Minoru Suzuki. So much good stuff happening with that company right now. But Minoru Suzuki on Impact is definitely in my top 5. Okay, this isn't one of the this wasn't really a good thing, but it was one of the top stories of the week. Ring of Honor shutting down. Man, that's a bummer. AJ Styles, Christopher Daniel, Bryan Danielson, Samoa Joe. So many great talents to come through Impact throughout the years and really cut their teeth in that organization. It's a bummer to see them go, but I'm real interested to see where talent like Jay Lethal, Jonathan Gresham, and Brody King are going to end up. Charlotte and Becky, the backstage heat of everything went on. You know, a lot of times we don't really, you know, like maybe give too much attention to that backstage stuff. But when something like that kind of plays out, it's definitely interesting. And I can't help but feel like, you know, that was definitely one of the top stories of the week. And then the last one, something I saw this morning. Kiera Hogan. Kiera Hogan had a match with Mickie James on NWA Power this week. It was a special NWA Empower episode. And Mickie won. And, you know, the match itself was fine. It was a good match. But NWA put this tweet out, as real as it gets. And that's one of the great things they do. And NWA, when they really do try, they come off so authentic. Kiera Hogan is absolutely in tears. She's crying. And she's just explaining that Mickie James was her inspiration to get in the ring. And it was a real moment. And she talked about how, you know, besides like just growing up and that was her fandom, meeting her at autograph signings and telling her how I can't wait to wrestle and I want to wrestle and you inspire me. She finally, after Kiera's already been on top of her game for a while at Impact, she finally gets to wrestle her. So how cool is that? NWA puts it out there. And that's one of the things I think that NWA, when it does right, it does it really good. NWA is really good at being authentic.
100%. Now, my top 5 of the week, I got the season finale of Dark Side of the Ring, the steroid trial. It was
that was a great episode.
Good episode. An interesting insight into Jerry McDevitt.
Fascinating guy.
The ROH story. The bigger story is how it looks like the company's shutting down. they say they're restructuring. They still have a couple shows, but it doesn't look good. Like there's reports they're trying to sell the tape library. I want to look at the positive coming out of that. Bandito has already signed on to do a couple shows with GCW. Jay Lethal is doing some shows with the local indie up here, Northeast Wrestling. So we have a lot of possibilities there. And a lot of good, I think, is going to come from that match. Kingston versus Danielson last night, I think, was wild last night. Like, just such a good match. Just the way the whole thing, I loved it. I'm getting lost trying to keep up with the comments here.
That's all right. AJ is, I don't think he was a fan of this Dark Side season. Messaging about Ring of Honor recent wrestlers. Yeah.
I got two more things on my list real quick before we get into Randy's thoughts. Yesterday, we did an interview with Scott Chaplin from Wrestle Roast. That's going to come out in early December. That was such a fun interview. And like, we do interviews. They're all good. We love them all. But that one, it was almost like talking with a friend. And I mean, we had to cut it off because we had the appearance to get to on Coming Down the Aisle. But God, we had so much fun with that. And I can't wait till the people hear it.
Yeah, he was great. He definitely felt like a good friend hanging out.
Yeah. Now, last thing I got on my list is actually something that's going to happen tonight. Moxley and Sami Callihan versus the American Wolves for Pro Wrestling Revolver. That is going to be a wild match. And I'm just an American Wolves fan, so I'm on the edge of my seat for that.
Good shit, man. Can't wait to do it. I know Randy messaged me about the Ring of Honor wrestlers. I don't think we really had anything added on that from what I can see, but it is going to be interesting to see where a lot of these talents end up, Randy. And what happens to that tape library, too. That's another interesting thing.
100%. Oh, AJ's got another comment. We are just about to wrap up here, so if anybody watching in the comments... Oh, no.
Oh, Randy, breaking news.
Randy, who's
breaking
replacing
news.
him in that? We can't end this now till he tells me who's replacing him.
Yeah, is there... It's Moxley
versus... telling me there's no American Wolves?
Jimmy Jacobs.
I didn't buy the pay-per-view yet, so I'm staying till I get some fucking answers.
Jeez. Oh, man. Jimmy Jacobs.
Sucks. I'm not buying a pay-per-view for that.
Jimmy Jacobs was the guy who used to be a writer in WWE, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a good wrestler, but Moxley versus him
that guy,
not the level of...
That guy that got his legs amputated. That was Jimmy Lloyd, right?
Jimmy Rave.
Jimmy Rave? Okay.
Yeah, Jimmy Lloyd's the big guy in GCW. He's the former child actor, does a lot of matches.
That sucked when I saw the thing with Jimmy Rave. I saw that recently where he had his legs amputated, and I'm like, that poor guy. I don't know. Positive note to end the show this week.
Moxley versus Jimmy Jacobs is going to be awesome. AJ, what are you talking about? Brother? I was hoping for that American Wolves match.
Davey Richards has been killing it in MLW. MLW had a great show this week too. Lee Moriarty and Bobby Fish, both in AEW, were on there. Bobby Fish advances in the Opera Cup, and what was the other match? TJP advanced this week too. So I can't remember who, but yeah, Opera Cup is going on. They jumped Calvin Tankman, who had already advanced. So that'll be interesting to see if he's in the next round. That was American Top Team that jumped him. Yeah, it has been interesting. I've really enjoyed MLW. Randy
now at Work Chamber, we're gonna get Enzo versus Matt Cross. Okay, Jimmy Jacobs versus Moxley. Who knows? Maybe I'll buy the pay-per-view and I'll see if this fight lives up to. I don't know if it's gonna live up to that tag match though.
No, that would have been great. Sami Callihan and Moxley versus American Wolves. No, I'm with you, Joe. You don't have my money.
No. But hey, guys, check us out. Like I said, next week, Undertaker matches, November 13th, current super heavyweights. November 20th, we're doing Starcades. And November 27th, we are doing 531 on Survivor Series.
And
guys,
December 4th.
see you later.